Alright guys, hey, I'm back. It's Talon here, and we're going to continue on Final Fantasy XIV. The last episode was mostly cutscenes, just getting in, me talking. We're gonna continue on the main story quest now. Talk to this guy, go to this lovely cutscene, and we are here in Limsa Lamentia, and this is the Drowning Winch. This here is the Adventurers Guild. We are talking, of course, to the guild master right now, and it's just going to be kind of slow starting off. We get to go take a tour of the city. I'll show you around as we go through, and it's going to be a great game. Goes through all the different areas. There will be quite a few quests being picked up at this beginning part. Of course, it's just to get you to the levels to continue on in the story quest, because all the story quests are based on levels. When you get to certain levels, you of course get stronger, but it also unlocks new quests. That way, I guess you can't just pick up quests straight off the bat. And yeah, I figured I'd go with the Marauder. I like the look of some of the Marauder armor and gear and stuff. Of course, starting out, it's all going to be a mixed match till we get to, of course, up to the higher levels. And do. Yep. People blaming me for things that I didn't do. Sometimes I do things that I shouldn't, but in games like this, you just kind of get sucked into the story. All right, this is cutscene's almost over. And him inviting us to the city, learn about the city. So now we get to go take a tour of the city. All right, we take that. Talk to him. That's done. Pick up this one, which is the tour quest. And the great thing I love about this game is you as you play through it, each major, like, big cities or bigger cities and towns have these crystals in them called aetheryte. And when you have aetherytes, the way they're set up is when you attune to them, you can go into, you have a return function, and you can teleport straight back to the town. When you unlock more aetherytes, you can teleport from town to town. And they just added a new function called the Novice Guild, or the Hall of the Novice. Yeah, it's Hall of the Novice. And you can talk to that person. I think it's that person right there. Yeah, that person right there, the smith. And when you do that, it'll take you into, like, a little, like, scenario where it teaches you how to play the characters. So they've done a lot of, like, help functions to teach people how to play. And as you can see, I'm skipping through a lot of the dialogue. But with that, it's more of a, hey, this is... But if I went through all of the dialogue, each dialogue in the scenarios have its own story. And we pick up. There are a lot of quests where it's just running back and forth talking to people. So it's not like a bad thing, it's just kind of builds the story. Alright, we got that quest done. We can go ahead and turn it in. I'm gonna pick up the next one. We'll go ahead and pick up this one. And these starting quests, they essentially take you around the city as it is. So you can actually do multiple quests at the same time. Like here, this is that aetheryte I was telling you about. Giant crystal. That just sits there and rotates. And once we're going to attune to it now. And it'll go into a little cutscene. And during this, it's basically explaining to you how the aetheryte works, and it's kind of an intro into the getting into the game, and not really a it's like, of course, the beginning, it's all the tutorial. Once you get through certain sections, it just keeps giving you more information. And I've learned return. So now, whenever I hit the return spell, I instantly come back to this spot right here. And pick up some more quests. Now we're fixing to go through the shops. The shops here are fairly self-explanatory. You have your market board, that's where people sell stuff that they've made, because you do have crafting classes where you can make your own gear, you make your own items. And then you have like your normal shops. Later on, the summoning bell will come into play. You can get retainers, and it's like more inventory space, and that's who sells your stuff on the market boards. And it also just kind of, it's a way to hold money, it's a way to hold items, and just things like that. It's very, very in depth, and as of course you can already see, other people are in here. I'm actually into the game now, so you can actually start seeing other players. This is the second part of the main quest, because we attuned to the aetheryte. Right now we're talking to the gentleman at the merchants area, where we can buy and sell and different things like that. And he goes through telling you about all the different areas, all the different shops. I know a lot of this sounds like me just kind of narrating through the storyline, which most of this will be, because I have already played through this game. I've not finished the entire game with the new expansion and everything. I'm actually about halfway through it with another character, and we'll eventually get to all of that too. It's just mostly picking up and turning in quests, talking to people. Let's see. This is the middle. Alright, now in the large, now it's 4 large cities the 3 that you start in, you have these aetheryte shards. And you attune to them like you would the big aetheryte crystal at the beginning. And with these, you can teleport around the city, because these cities are huge. And we get into the second half of the merchant area, talk to these guys, turn this quest in here. Gets kind of repetitive after a while, and I'll start finding better things to talk about unless it's a pertinent quest. And let's see. Alright, here we go. We are at... Where are we at? We are at the Arcanist Guild. This is one of the other starting classes. This is the guild that... Like, if you had started with an Arcanist, you would come to this guild. Instead of, like, me being a Marauder, I'd have to go to the Marauders Guild for the main quest. If you started as Arcanist, you'd have to come to this guild. And later on, when you reach level 10 in your main job class, you'll be able to come here and pick up other classes. And Arcanist is one of the mage classes. It's both healing and damage, so it's kind of a split class. It is a bit challenging to play some of the mage classes because you don't get the damage resistance that the armor gives you with a lot of the melee classes. But if you go with healer, it does help out. Like with the Arcanist, you get pets, and with pets you can have your pet go attack, and you just heal your pet. It does get a little difficult in areas, but each person is going to play their own way. Different people play different ways. Like where I was talking about crafting classes, you have crafting and gathering. This right here is the Fisherman's Guild, where you can fish and get materials for the culinary class, which is a great class for getting like food buffs and things like that, things that you get for eating items, and you can cook your foods and things like that. Right, let's see, we are getting back to questing. I should be leveling up here soon. And for anybody who has played Final Fantasy games, they get into the storyline. I mean, it's hard to say that the stories don't draw you in. They do, but with this, there's so many different stories. It does get hard to keep up with it all. I think we're going to use this Aether right here and teleport back to the Aether Plaza where the big Aetherite crystal is, to continue on our quest, because next we have to go into the other half of the city. See, we've covered most of this area, got all the Aetherite crystals, and I do believe our time is about up, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to go ahead and finish this quest, and I'll pick it back up here next time. Thanks for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe if you like my video. If you don't, feel free. I will have other videos for other games. Feel free to keep watching, or just enjoy what you're doing. So with that said, I will catch y'all guys later, and we'll leave it at here. Alright, later guys.